Good morning, His Excellency Mr. Xiaoshan. Hello, my name is Irene, and I thank you so much for taking your time to join me in this interview to commemorate the birth of President Sukarno, the first president of Republic of Indonesia. This year, People's Republic of China and Republic of Indonesia mark 71 years of relations, which have brought a lot of benefits and prosperity to our countries. In this occasion, I would like to ask you to look back to our history, to the time of President Sukarno, who provided a strong foundation for our relations. So please allow me to ask you 5 questions. I hope this is not too much, Mr. Ambassador, regarding our founding father and his impact towards our relations. My first question is, how do you know the figure of Sukarno? Please, Mr. Ambassador.
Good morning, Irina. It's also my great pleasure to be here for the interview. As an ambassador from the People's Republic of China and to the Republic of Indonesia, it's my great honor to have the interview focusing on the first president of the Republic of Indonesia. This year marks the 120th anniversary of the birth of President Sukarno, who is the first president of the Republic of Indonesia. And first of all, I would like to pay my highest tribute to the memory of President Sukarno on behalf of the Chinese Embassy and in my own name. President Sukarno, leader of the Indonesian national independence movement, as well as an outstanding statesman, thinker, and diplomat. President Sukarno led the Indonesian people to fight against the colonial rule and strive for national independence, making immortal contributions to the establishment of the Republic of Indonesia. He united various forces to maintain social stability and promote a national economy, laying a critical foundation for Indonesia's national development. He initiated Pancasila as the national guiding ideology, which advocates diversity and inclusiveness and creates a new situation of harmonious coexistence and pluralistic integration in Indonesian society. He made extensive contacts with leaders of other countries, initiated the Asian-Africa Conference, and actively participated in the non-aligned movement, which greatly enhanced Indonesia's international status and influence.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. I think we all agree with your answer that Sukarno gave us a lot of treasury to this country and to the world. And my next question is, what impression did Sukarno leave on you as a state representative assigned to Republic of Indonesia?
Well, President Sukarno is not only the pride of the Indonesian nation, but also makes outstanding contributions to the realization of unity and cooperation among the emerging independent countries in Asia and Africa. President Sukarno proposed Asia-African Conference. The leaders from 29 Asian and African countries attended the famous Asia-Africa Conference in Bandung, Indonesia, in April 1955. As a leader of the host country, President Sukarno delivered a passionate speech entitled, "Let a New Asia and a New Africa be born," at this opening ceremony of the conference. In his speech, he pointed out that this is the first intercontinental conference of colored peoples in the history of mankind. He also said it is a new departure in the history of the world, and that Asia and Africa can prosper only when they are united. The Asia-Africa Conference is the first international conference in history initiated and hosted independently by Asian and African countries to discuss major issues related with them. It has played an important historical role in promoting the establishment of a fair an equitable international political and economic order. And on the basis of the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence, the 10 principles on handling state-to-state relations were raised at the conference. These 10 principles embody noble ideal and aspiration of the Asian African people to unite, cooperate, and struggle together to uproot colonialism, strive for national independence, and maintain world peace. So therefore, it is called the Bandung spirit. And up to today, it still plays a very important guiding role for international relations.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ambassador. I hope that we can keep the spirit that Sukarno gave to us at that conference still remain in our heart. Okay, Mr. Ambassador, without further ado, my third question is, how is Sukarno recognized by the people in the People's Republic of China?
President Sukarno is an old friend of the Chinese people,
yeah,
and also the founder,
yeah,
of China-Indonesia friendship. The People's Republic of China was founded in October 1949, and China and Indonesia established diplomatic relations in April 1950. Indonesia was among the first countries in the world to establish diplomatic relations with New China. It was under the leadership of President Sukarno. President Sukarno forged a very profound friendship with Chairman Mao Zedong, Premier Zhou Enlai, and other Chinese leaders of the elder generation. President Sukarno visited China three times, and he was warmly welcomed by the Chinese government and Chinese people. Chinese leaders, including Liu Shaoqi, Zhou Enlai, Song Qingling, Chen Yi, He Long, they were also invited to visit Indonesia respectively,
yeah,
and also very warmly welcomed, received by President Sukarno. So it is fair to say that the friendship between China and Indonesia has been forged and carefully nurtured by the leaders of the elder generation of our two countries. It is a precious treasure shared by the two peoples. The Chinese people will never forget President Sukarno's great contribution to China-Indonesia friendship. President Sukarno was an eloquent orator. His collection of speeches under the banner of revolution was translated into Chinese and published in China.
Yeah.
Many Chinese people who grew up at that time still remember his outstanding demeanor and charming personality. President Suharto was also an art lover. He loves art, and he collects art pieces.
Yes.
And a collection of his art pieces was also published in China,
yeah,
by the name of Paintings from the Collection of Dr. Sukarno.
Yeah.
And very interestingly, President Sukarno wrote a letter in the preface to the book. He said, "This is not because I am a good collector of paintings, but just to show my love for art and to bring the brotherly friendship between the Indonesian and Chinese people even closer."
Yeah, yeah. What a story, Mr. Ambassador. You mentioned earlier about the friendship between Sukarno and also Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong. Maybe you can tell us further. We would be very happy if you can share some story about how Sukarno and the other strong figures of the Republic of China, such as Mao Zedong or Zhou Enlai, during the mid-20th century period. Because I think this is give us a story back then, the history, the strong relationship between them. I think this is a history that a lot of people want to know more.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of stories that could be told about the friendship between President Sukarno and the then Chinese leaders.
Yeah.
I just mentioned that the Asia-African Conference was held in Bandung in 1955, and Premier and Foreign Minister of China was Zhou Enlai. Premier Zhou led a delegation to attend the Bandung Conference.
Yeah.
He also visited Jakarta. According to the elder generation of the Chinese diplomats, it was the first time that President Sukarno met Premier Zhou. And President Sukarno was also very impressed by Premier Zhou Enlai's diplomatic skills that was shown at the Asian-African Conference. President Sukarno and Premier Zhou talked very happily, and they just felt like they had known each other for a very long time. There are a lot of topics, a lot of common grounds, a lot of interesting issues they discussed, a lot of consensus they reached, in a very friendly, relaxed, cordial atmosphere. And during Premier Zhou Enlai's visit, President Sukarno specially invited Premier Zhou to tour Jakarta.
Okay.
In a convertible car, without roof, the car without roof. They toured Jakarta together, and also President Sukarno made an exception to attend the reception held by Premier Zhou at the Chinese embassy in Indonesia. President Sukarno also respected very much Dr. Sun Yat-sen, who was the forerunner of the Chinese Revolution. In July 1956, President Sukarno kindly invited the widow of Dr. Sun Yat-sen, Madam Sun Qingling, who was then the vice chairperson of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, to visit Indonesia. And President Sukarno, he planned the program for her visit in person, also held a grand welcoming banquet for her at the presidential palace. President Sukarno also praised highly Madam Sun as one of the great women in the Chinese Revolution and the global anti-imperialist and anti-colonial struggle. And President Sukarno very cordially, friendly addressed her as my elder sister. And Madam Sun also speaks English very fluently. So she talked directly with President Sukarno without interpreter. It was very cordial, very friendly, very relaxed. And her elegant and dignified manner also left a very deep impression, not only on President Sukarno, but also on Indonesian people.
Wow, what a story, Mr. Ambassador. I think we got a lot lesson to learn from the story between the friendship of Sukarno and the strong figures of Republic of China. Mr. Ambassador, my last inquiry is, would you please convey a message or a motivation to the young generation of Indonesia to learn about the history of the relations between China and Indonesia?
Well, history is the best textbook.
Yes, I agree.
The history of a country, is the spiritual wealth for the whole nation.
Yeah.
It records the arduous course of the pioneers in establishing, governing, developing, and prospering a nation. Learning the history of one's own country is to learn the valuable experience and wisdom of the country's forefathers, so that the next generation can know where we come from and where we should go. Take some example of China. This year marks the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Communist Party of China. Earlier this year, we have launched a campaign on party history learning and education. That is to learn about the history, about how the party has led the nation, how the party has helped the Chinese people to develop, to become independent, to develop, to prosper. This campaign is now still going on. And President Xi Jinping, who's also the Secretary General of the Communist Party of China, he has proposed the goal of this learning and education campaign. He said, by studying history, we shall master principles, boost confidence, uphold morality, and practice accordingly. So this is exactly the purpose of learning our party's history, learning our country's history, and I would like to convey these words also to our young Indonesian friends.
Yeah, thank you. Sukarno once said that jas merah, if you know the quote, like one of the remarkable quote from Sukarno, jas merah, jangan sekali-sekali melupakan sejarah. Don't ever forget the history, said Sukarno once time.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderfully said.
That's a quote from Sukarno about the history, how we have to appreciate the history. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador, for your time and elaboration for this video. I really hope the relation between our countries will continue to grow for the betterment of both countries, and I wish you all the health and happiness during your stay in Indonesia and beyond. And I hope also that you have plenty of time to enjoy, to taste our diversity of gastronomy, from Padang, masakan Sunda, sate ayam, and so on. Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador. Hope I can see you again in the future.
Thank you, Irina, for the interview. I have been here for 3 years and a half. I love this country. I enjoyed my stay here. Both my working relations and the personal relations with so many Indonesian friends has made my life here a pleasant one. I will continue to make my utmost efforts to promote the existing long time-tested friendship and cooperation between our two countries. I also look forward to our future interactions, and I wish you all my best wishes and all the successes. Thank you so much. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Mr. Ambassador. Ya, makasih. Ya, tadi adalah wawancara saya dengan Duta Besar Cina untuk Indonesia, Bapak Xiao Qian. Semoga tadi dari wawancara tersebut kita mendengarkan betapa Sukarno adalah tokoh yang sangat kuat dan berpengaruh terhadap hubungan Indonesia dan Cina yang masih bisa kita rasakan hingga saat ini. Tadi Duta Besar juga mengatakan bagaimana kita harus melihat sejarah dan juga tadi mendengarkan cerita Duta Besar mengenai bagaimana Sukarno menginisiasi KTT di Bandung dan juga beberapa banyak acara pertemuan tingkat dunia yang mempengaruhi geopolitikal saat itu. Memang tidak ada kata lain selain kita patut berbangga dan berterima kasih kepada Sukarno atas warisan besarnya yang diberikan kepada kita, rakyat Indonesia dan bangsa ini. Semoga kedepannya hubungan Indonesia dan juga Cina akan semakin kuat dengan memperhatikan sisi dari pengalaman masa lalu yang sudah ditorehkan atau dijejakkan oleh Sukarno, pendiri bangsa kita. Terima kasih telah mengikuti acara BKN, semoga bermanfaat.
Laki berdiri tegar, dinding penjara tak bisa lumpuhkan. Gelora perjuangan untuk tanah air dan bangsa. Semaikan mimpi, tebarkan cita-cita. Merdeka sejati takkan pernah musnah. Karno takkan pernah redup, tetap menyala di dalam jiwa. Bung Karno takkan pernah mati, selalu hidup di dalam selalu mengalir di dalam darah. Lelaki berdiri tegar, negeri pengasingan takkan bisa lemahkan api perlawanan untuk rakyat Indonesia. Semaikan mimpi, tebarkan cita-cita, merdeka sejati takkan pernah musnah. Bung Karno takkan pernah redup, tetap menyala di dalam jiwa. Bung Karno takkan pernah mati, selalu hidup di dalam hati. Bung Karno takkan pernah sayu, tetap bergema dalam dada. Bung Karno takkan pernah pergi, selalu mengalir di dalam darah. Selagi matahari terbit dari timur, takkan